Hello. The trouble with young people today, among other things, is that they're thoughtless, rude, and selfish, right? And that's not me saying that. I read that in a newspaper. In fact, it was in the whole Daily Mail in 1925. People have always done this trashing of the younger generations. There are written diatribes against the kids today that go back to Aristotle's rhetoric in the 4th century BC. And in the last century, the veterans of the First World War blasted the kids who would grow up to be the so-called greatest generation, who then in turn blasted the boomers for being hippies, and so on and so forth. Why? Well, a new study in Science Advances last month might actually explain this phenomenon. The researchers found that we notice the limitations that kids have these days, but because of a memory bias, we tend to project our abilities as adults onto ourselves as children, so we think that we were much more competent as children than we actually were. And we compare current children to that, which is an unfair comparison. That's a shame for a lot of reasons, not least of which is that it should be easy to fix. Because what we're talking about here is generalizations, and it's the responsibility of everyone to keep an eye on yourself and check your behavior when you notice yourself falling into that kind of a trap. Of course, there are lazy, ignorant, and entitled people in every generation, but when we call that out, we should focus on those specific individual behaviours. When you start hearing people say, oh, all millennials are lazy, that's the problem, that's when somebody's getting off track. And sure, cultural values do change with generations. Things that were once unacceptable become commonplace, and then behaviours that for a long time everybody just accepted, we realise, hey, that's not okay. Some of the things that are lost between generations actually have value, and it's a shame, and other things are shunned for very good reason, because they should never have been okay in the first place. Which brings me to OK Boomer. Most of you are probably aware of this meme. It typically occurs when someone older is calling out somebody younger on some aspect of their behaviour. The younger person gives the dismissive response, OK Boomer, and noticeably, this has caused some boomers to flip out. And sometimes it's called out as hypocritical, since OK Boomer is a generational diss, being employed largely by millennials who are always saying that they're tired of being generalised about. For me, as a member of Generation X, this has just been something I've kind of watched unfold. But sorry, boomers, you got to wipe the spittle from your face and accept this one. Because if it's being directed at you personally, then you triggered it. You displayed some stereotypically boomerish behaviour that led you to get burned with an OK Boomer. You made it happen. Now, I don't mean you as boomers in general, I mean you, boomer, the one that just got OK Boomered. And if you haven't had it directed at you personally, then you've got nothing to be offended about. Because it's OK Boomer, not OK Boomers. And if you are feeling attacked even though it hasn't been directed at you personally, well then I hope you haven't called anybody a snowflake recently. Do you know that saying about how when you've always enjoyed privilege, equality feels something like oppression? If you need to feel better, just know that in 40 years, another younger generation will be giving millennials shit for the state of the world in 2060. The wheel continues to spin and will break us all the same. OK, Boomer? This has been another rant from a Chaise Longue. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share with a boomer.